If you have not seen this movie, Purple Hearts, I don't know where you have been, I don't know where you are, but since you are here now, I would say welcome. Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Lucy's Quick One talking about entertainment, and I'll be adding a little spice to my channel that's talking about movie reviews, but majorly movies that I enjoy, and movies that I enjoy has to do with love. So if this movie has 80% theme of love, 10%, 20%, 5%, as long as there's love there, be sure that I'll be there. Now let's talk about this movie, Purple Hearts. But before I even go into talking about the movie, please, if you are yet to subscribe to my YouTube channel for any reason under the stars, the moon, or the sun, please do subscribe down here. Now let's talk about Purple Hearts. This movie stars Sofia Carlson and Nicholas Galizian. I have to give thumbs up to the casting director for choosing these guys as the lead characters in this movie. Sofia Carlson is somebody that I discovered in 2019. I'm sure she must have been doing this for a very long time, but I think I watched the movie Emily in Paris and I just loved her. She brought that series to life. It's actually a drama series of her being in Paris, and the next time I'm seeing her in Feel the Beats. I mean, this lady is an executive producer, she is a dancer, she's a singer, she's an actress, she is a gift to this world. I really love her. Then Nico, on the other hand, that guy is sugar and spice all in one human being. Plus he is English, so you'll be like, hi, how are you? I love you. Let's talk about the movie. So I would say that the storyline of this movie majorly has to do with two stubborn people who decide to get married for benefits. But if I want to use more English term to describe what this movie talks about, it talks about an aspiring singer who gets married to a US Marine for health benefits, while he gets married to her for financial benefits. Now, talking about the movie itself, romance, but it's not romance that is cliche per se, it's more real, and I think that's the reason I love this movie. When I saw the duration, it was 2 hours and 4 minutes, and I was like, why would something be that long? But when I watched it, guys, it was everything and everything. The movie starts with Sofia, whose name is Cassie, and then she is in a pub, which we also call beer parlor in Nigeria, and this lady is minding her business with her friend. Then these guys who are Marines are going off to Iraq. They call it Iraq in the movie, and then that's where Nico is. His name is Luke in the movie, and his best friend's name is Frankie. Just know the characters. So these guys come into the pub where Cassie works, and then Frankie and Cassie have been friends for a long time. So she sees him and she's like, oh my god, I was his babysitter and everything. And then Luke sees Cassie and they had this eye contact. I would say that the connection started from the beginning, but I would say that they also were very careful about it because they started off on the wrong start. One of Luke's friends gets Cassie angry and then she moves away from them, and then Luke, trying to just be the gentleman, goes to talk to Cassie, and they didn't just start off on the very good foot. Obviously Cassie is like an activist, more like a feminist, but more like an activist, and that's how they just had a very rough start, and everybody goes on their own businesses. That's where we find out that Cassie actually has issues with diabetes, and then it was also revealed that Cassie could not afford to take care of herself when it comes to her diabetes, and then she needed money, she needed help, and she still wanted to be a singer. Cassie finds out that if you get married to a US Marine, you get to have health benefits. So Cassie goes over to Frankie's house and tries to tell him to marry her so that she can have the health benefits. And she says, you know what, after a while we get divorced. And then Frankie was like, I'm already in a relationship, a serious relationship, so this can't happen. Luke was around the house. Remember that Frankie and Luke are friends, and then Luke comes and says, I don't think it's a good idea. Cassie was like, bros, nobody called you into the discussion, and then Luke goes out of the house. But again, Frankie's like, we can't get married, and then Cassie leaves the place. However, Luke was interested in what Cassie was saying, so he calls for a meeting with himself and Cassie and says, see, if we get married, I'm also a US Marine, if we get married, you will have your health benefits because you're my wife, and I will have more financial benefits, so it's a win-win for both of us. The reason Luke was saying this was because he was owing somebody money, and this person was threatening his family. That's his father, his brother, his sister-in-law, and his nephew. So he's like, if you get married, it's a win-win for both of us. You know that these guys were like fire and ice. So at the beginning, Cassie was like, no, I don't really think I can even like you, not talk of love you. And then they were just going with the whole charade and everything. Last, Cassie agreed to get married to Luke, and then they go out with their friends, and during that meeting, remember that annoying guy at the beginning? He gets Cassie angry again, and then Luke is like, sit down.
Sit down. No.
I actually saw this clip on TikTok first, and I was not sure. I was like, how would someone tell you to sit down and you will sit down? And I was really like well, after watching the movie, I did understand. And then she sits down, he walks out, and it's like, I don't understand what your problem is. They hug, they make up, they make out, and then Luke goes over for his assignment. Remember, he also told Cassie that, you know, this is fake. And since it's fake, we need to keep up with appearances. So we need to make video calls, we need to call each other, send text messages and all of that. So while he was over at Iraq, Cassie would always message him, they would do video calls and everything. It was during one of those video calls that Cassie, who is an aspiring singer, remember, sings one of the best songs I've heard this year that is on the movie called Come Back Home. You know, the movie is more about the US military, so it's very relatable with people who are already there. Cassie and Luke started having more conversations. That song became one of the top charting songs around the community at that point in time, so it got Cassie really excited. These guys were faking their relationship at the beginning, but as they kept on talking, it turned more into a friendship until something bad really happened to Frankie and Luke. After one of her gigs, Cassie gets a call about Luke getting injured, and then she goes over to Luke's house to tell his brother, but unfortunately she sees the father, and then she just tells everybody, and they come to the hospital to see Luke. And then Luke is very angry because he didn't want his father to even know about anything about him majorly because of some history behind all of them. While at the hospital, Luke announces to Cassie that Frankie died. Cassie was just so sad. She was so sad. I felt for her as well, because you know that's the person that had their secrets. That's the only person that knew what was going on between Cassie and Luke. Luke had to move to Cassie's house while they think about something else to do, because they can't just get divorced all of a sudden, because the military is still watching Luke very closely. So they are together in the house, and after a while, these guys start to become friends. Now, this is another highlight for me in the movie. At the point where these guys became really good friends, in fact, the highlight was when Luke got into the bathtub. That scene just got me all in my feelings, because you know, at first she was like helping him out and all of that, and she's like, I believe in you, I know you would run again, I know you would walk again, I believe in whatever it is that you believe in. Oh my god! And then guys, you know, she touched him on the shoulder, and then I could see a bruised man, not like a bruised lion that finally saw somebody who understood him, somebody who is like his comfort zone. This guy just reclined and relaxed on her. Oh god, I just burst in my brain. Because at the beginning, you know, these guys were sworn enemies. So seeing that happen, it was just very beautiful. My heart was just like, hey, this love. Now we move on to another little tragedy that happens afterwards, because these guys are more than friends now. Cassie's mom, her house gets burgled by this said dealer that Luke is owing. Remember that Luke is also owing somebody money, and that's the reason they got married in the first place. So this guy goes into Cassie's mom's house and burgles it. So Cassie's mom calls Cassie, and then Luke picks the call, and then he goes over to Cassie's mom's house, and he finds out that this same dealer has left his own family and is going to Cassie's family. Going back home, Cassie has a diabetes episode, and then Luke was there to help her, and she's like, you see, I've let my guard down, I'm allowing you to help me. And he's like, yeah. And during that period, you know, his heart was beating like this, thinking that Cassie was going to die. He was so scared. Like, these guys were already in love with them without them even knowing that they were in love. But that's another thing I love about it. It wasn't so cliche, it happened naturally. The next day, Luke goes over to the dealer, pays him his money, and because he made his wife, Cassie, feel very scared, and then Cassie's mom, he punches the guy in the mouth. But you know that there's some very stupid people that even when you are finished paying them their debts, they just want to tarnish your image every way. What does this guy do? This guy goes back to Cassie's mom, saying he wants to talk about Luke and everything. So Cassie hears, Cassie goes to Luke and is like, what happened? Then Luke now explains that he stole a car from his dad's shop a particular period when he lost his mom, and then the car was very expensive, and then dad was like, if you don't pay for this car, I'm going to get you arrested. So he had to go to the dealer to borrow him some money, and that's why he's owing that guy money. But he has paid the guy now, so they are good. But Cassie's like, see, her mom is an immigrant, her mom is the only person that she has in this world, so she doesn't want to have anything to do with Luke anymore. Luke should leave the house before she comes back, and then she goes for her gig. Then Luke goes out for a run. His leg is already much better, not totally better, but his leg is better. He comes back from the run. That unfortunate guy already reported Luke to the authorities, that's the military, and then Luke gets court-martialed. Now Luke in the courts, Cassie comes in, his father is there and everything. His father is like, I'm very disappointed in you, Cassie. I never knew that you would ever agree to this kind of contract. Like, you're the kind of woman that I thought would help my son out of this dead end that I felt like he was going into and all of that. But another highlight for me was when Luke stood up and he's like, I'm guilty, it's all my fault, leave Cassie out of it. Because in the US, it's both parties that will get punished. But he took it upon himself and said, it's only me that did the deed, so I'm the one that is guilty. And so they actually said, oh, you're guilty, we're going to get you off the military, but you have to finish your assignment, which is for 6 months and all of that. And then Cassie just broke down. The final part of this movie, you would see Cassie doing her gig, while on the other hand, Luke is getting ready to go back on assignment in Iraq. And then while she was singing, in fact, now she's a big star. There are thousands of people that came to come and listen to Cassie and her team sing. So while she was playing and singing, she was remembering all the good moments that she and Luke had. And then she realized at that point in time that, oh my god, I'm in love with this guy. Sometimes you might be seeing somebody and you're not sure where you guys stand, but at that point in time, when you think just clicks. So that's where some little bit of cliche comes in, because after the gig, she doesn't sign a lot of autographs. She just goes over to where Luke was leaving, that's getting deployed. And then when she gets there, she's like, I love you. And then Luke is like, I'm leaving, I'm going on 6 months, I'm going for 6 months, what if I die, and all of that. She's like, I still love you. That point where you say I love you and you're waiting for the person to say I love you too. Sure, everybody should not be mad. Like, you better love me back. So she was waiting. Even was like, and then he's like, I love you, Cassie Salazar.
I love you too, Cassie Salazar.
Oh my god, I was just blushing like it wasn't they told that they love me. It was such a beautiful story, like. And then you see Luke come back. At this point in time, Cassie has Luke's name tattooed on her finger, and Luke is like, oh my god, like, beautiful lady. This movie was just very relatable. I loved every part of it. And one thing about the movie is that the script was shared like 5 years ago. Reading one of Cassie's interviews, she was like, when she saw the script, it was so relatable to her. It talks about the contract marriages that happens in the military, which is very punishable by law, but it's also very relatable when it comes to death. And when it comes to that name, Purple Hearts, for the movie, it was said that, a red heart and a blue heart coming together formed the Purple Heart. But it's also an ode for the kind of medal of solemn distinction presented to US military members injured or killed in the line of service. So for those who are in the US, I'm very sure you'll be able to relate to the Purple Heart that is given to members who get killed while serving or even get severely injured. This movie is fictional, obviously, but they made it so real. Thumbs up to everybody on this movie. If you have not seen it, guys, I think you should go see it and drop your comments in the comment section. If you have seen it, what you loved about the movie, in fact, everything about the movie, let me know down there in the comment section. Thank you so much, guys, for watching my episode on movie reviews. Do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not done so. Please hit the bell next to the subscribe button so you'll always know whenever I post new content. As I always say, guys, enjoy every moment. Take care. Bye.